Hello, I'm Adam Riley, and we're going to solve Prepping Data 2019 Week 2 together. So this week, again, we've got an Excel workbook with our data in, so I've got that loaded up in a data E component up here. We can take a look, got two sheets in there. I'm going to guess this PC Week 2 on the one, so if I double click on that, it's going to add me a read component for that. Close that one up. And we can take a look at the data. I'll blow it out to full screen. So we've got some weather data for London, which has got a lot of misspellings we can see here. So obviously a convoluted example in this case, but quite a common thing that we see in data where especially it's been manually entered, sort of the occasional misspelling. So it's a good example to show we fixed that. We've also got, so I think in the Excel file this was two tables, one for London and one for Edinburgh. So we've got some blank rows here, and then we've got a duplicated header row you can see across here. So first thing we're going to want to do is to clean up, get rid of these blank rows, get rid of this duplicated header. So let's go back to the problem. We'll move across here. So import the files, we've done that. So now get rid of those titles. So first thing we want to do is remove the filter the blank rows out. So you filter blank rows, that drops most of those. And then we just need to get rid of that one row, this one here, look, the city row. So for that, I'm just going to use a standard filter. And I'm going to say where the city column doesn't equal the text value of city, I want to keep those records, so filter out the one that says city. So that brings down to 56 rows, and that duplicated header has now gone. So the next problem we've got is we want to clean up this city column. And to do that, first thing I'm going to do is just across here on the side briefly is do a distinct. So a distinct will give me all of the unique values in that column. So there's 15 different spellings combined of London and Edinburgh. And what I'll do is I'm going to copy these. You notice our keyboard viewer just down here in the corner, so you can see my keyboard shortcuts today. So Control C or Command C if I'm on a Mac, copies those. And then if I come across here and just put the mouse onto the background of the graph editor and do Command V, it's going to paste those values into the new table input widget. So here I can enter data directly into my graph, and what I'm going to do is create a lookup table that takes all these dirty city names and creates clean versions. So once I've got this table built, I actually need to go through, I can then use a replace component, feed my lookup table in here. I want to apply that to city. So if we look, so at the moment all the cities are getting replaced with nothing, and the reason for that being is I haven't created my clean cities yet. So all I do now is get the clean one, and I can just paste it down here, and you can see as I do it, it's filling in those clean ones down at the bottom. So just go down this list. Okay, and obviously this could be more complex data, and you might need to pay a bit more attention than I do today, but there we go. And now if I feed that into my distinct, we can see that we've now just got two distinct cities what we wanted, London and Edinburgh. So that's the cleanup done. So next thing we'll do is pivot the data to give a measure per column for the four metrics in the data set. And so let's get rid of that distinct. Just move that up slightly so we can see what we're looking at. So you notice we've got these four measures, so max temperature, min temperature, precipitation and wind speed. We've also got the measure along with the metric, which is actually the units. And you'll notice this, you might not be able to see in the example, they want to put the units into the header. So we'll just need to create that header data first, and we'll do that with a set component. So set component lets you create new columns on your data. So the value in this case is going to be the metric, and then I'm going to add in a hyphen inside some quotes, and then I'm going to add on the measure. If I could, there we go. I'm just going to call that header because that's going to become my new header data. So if we look what that's done across here, we've added a new column that's exactly what we want for these new header rows. So max temperature -Celsius. And having done that, all that's left to do is a crosstab of the data. So crosstab will take data that's in columns and turn it into headers. So we want to group by the city, we want to group by the date. The header is going to be that newly created header row, and then the values will just take a sum of the value. And if we take a look at that, that is our final output set. So we've got 14 rows, which is what it's asking for over here. 6 columns, 1, 2, and then the 4 metrics. And you can see we've got the nicely headed headers. So that's the entire workflow. So we cleaned up the dirty city names, created this new header, and then cross-tabbed the data around. Thank you for watching.